Hello, it's Diana Marchand from dianamarchand.com, and I help women lead healthy, happy lives full of passion and purpose. And welcome to this video. You'll see the lighting looks really weird. It's because I'm filming this at night, and so I have to lighten the film when I edit it, so it's going to look really horrible, but I can't get the light right in here, and it's nighttime. So here we go. What I wanted to make today was something that I just tried. I got an idea when I was at a restaurant today, and I had some miso gravy on something and it tasted so good. Now, I didn't buy miso because I thought, well, I don't want people to have to buy miso if that's the only thing they're going to use it for, so I wanted to make up my own kind of variation. Ended up to be completely different. I'm doing a bok choy and warm mushroom salad. Bok choy, oh, it's so good. I just made a little sample for myself, so that's what we're making tonight. You know, with fall and winter, of course, you know, people sometimes say, I don't want a cold salad. I want something warm. This is warm. It's savory. It has a fantastic, great taste to it. And so we're going to make that today. Now, I have cut up, so I'm making a small salad because I already ate and I'm really full and I don't want to, like, have a huge, big salad left over not to eat, right? So I cut up, I don't know, there's about 5 brown mushrooms. You can use portobello for this, I'm sure, too, but this is just some brown mushrooms. And then we are going to add some grated garlic or chopped fine garlic and fresh ginger. Now, how much? Well, I don't know what size of a batch you're going to make. If you want, you'll see how much this makes. This is, like I said, about 5 or 6 brown mushrooms. I cut up about, well, not even a quart, well, a small clove of garlic, really small. And then I probably have about half a teaspoon of chopped ginger. Now, it also depends on how much you like all of those things, right? If you're not a ginger fan, don't use ginger. If you're not a garlic fan, don't use garlic. Now, I've got some green onions. This is about 2 green onions, so I'm just going to chop up some green onions into this too. Now, what we're going to do is marinate these mushrooms. So I'm just adding the onions. And then what type of a marinade can eat us? Spoon here. Are we going to use? We are going to use one consisting of oil, sesame oil, Bragg's or Tamari, a little bit of apple cider vinegar. That is going to be the marinade. And then we're going to add some nutritional yeast to it to thicken it, and a bit of tahini when it's cooking, when the mushrooms are cooking. Okay, so we're going to make the marinade, so let's do this. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of oil. Now, this is Bragg's. It is a soy sauce. It is a wheat-free one. You can use tamari, or if you don't want to go soy, which is a good idea, use coconut aminos. It's like a soy sauce made from coconuts. It just happens to give me a really bad headache, so I can't have it. So soy sauce or whatever, this is the Bragg's. That is 1 tablespoon, and I'm going to add just a little bit more. And then my sesame oil. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. I'm just using, okay, you know what, 1.5, because I want you to be able to taste the sesame oil in this. So let's do 1.5 teaspoons. Yeah, here it is, of sesame oil. I'm not used to measuring, so hard for me. And then we're just going to stir it up. Now, you can mix that marinade in a separate little thing, and what a mess. And then pour it on after, right? You don't have to do it like this because my bowl's a little small. Everything's falling out. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this good. So make sure you mix it really well, get all the marinade all over the mushrooms, and then you're going to let it sit. Now, for how long? Well, it doesn't really matter. Like, you know, if you can let it sit for 15, 20 minutes, great. If you can let it sit for a bit longer, wonderful. Because while it's sitting, you can prepare the rest of the salad. And that's what we're going to do. I'm not going to marinate it too long today just because I'm doing a video, right? Otherwise, I would have marinated it a little bit longer because then it gets much more flavor in the mushrooms. Okay, so I added 1 tablespoon of oil, but I think it's a little drier. No. I let it sit for a little while, so maybe it is okay. Let me taste it one more time. No, but sorry, but a half a tablespoon of oil. There we go. Okay, now we're just there. Okay, so that is sitting. Now what I did was I'm going to use some kale and bok choy for the salad. You can use other greens, even romaine would be good probably. I've destemmed and washed the kale, spun it in a salad spinner. This is baby bok choy. I took off the fat end and I just rinsed it and put it, this is just on a towel drying a little bit so it's not so soaking wet. Okay, so here is like my salad plate that I'm going to have. So now all I'm going to do is just add some kale and bok choy to my salad bowl while everything else is marinating, right? So I will fast forward through this part because you don't need to really see it. Now take into account how many mushrooms you want. A good balance of the mushrooms with this. So you don't want an overabundance of greens. Why? Because the sauce is going to come from the mushrooms, right? So that way you want enough mushrooms to be able to give the whole salad a really good dressing or sauce on it. So you don't want a huge amount of greens at a small amount of mushrooms. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I cut up some kale and some bok choy and it's sitting right in here. I use the stems of the bok choy too. They're really good. If you haven't tried bok choy raw, it is really good in a salad. So I have that. Forgot a very important ingredient, bean sprouts. I rinsed these off, so we're adding bean sprouts to this too. So there's bean sprouts, just a bowl of that. I'm going to throw in a few in here. And you can cut them up. Actually, I think they'd be better a little cut. A little bit better. So I'm just mixing that up. So there's our plate. So that's about how much I have. Remember, I had about 6 brown mushrooms because we're going to now add some, when it's cooking, we're going to add some tahini. And I'm going to add some nutritional yeast. Now, nutritional yeast is, you can buy it at a bulk, usually in a health food store. This is brand is Red Store nutritional yeast. Sometimes Bragg sells some nutritional yeast in a grocery store or in a little container. So it's nutritional yeast and you want the one that looks a little yellow. It's kind of flakes, really flaky. So we have our mushrooms. They're all marinated now, nice and soft. And yes, there's lots of a sauce in there, right? So this is going to help to thicken it. So I'm going to add my mushrooms to the pan with oil. So I have a bit of oil in my pan already, right? Because I don't want anything to stick, although I may not have needed the oil in the pan. So I have that amount in there. And now what I think I'm going to do is I'm totally just guessing on this tahini thing. Start with less. You can always add more. Remember, always start with less. And I just have this because I would say probably a teaspoon or so of tahini. We're going to add that to the mushrooms cooking. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of nutritional yeast. Now, I don't like to cook this too high when I'm adding the nutritional yeast, but I want to know if I need more tahini. So I'm going to see how it thickens, okay? Now, I didn't do that long. And like I said, I did not have it on a really high temperature when I added the tahini or the nutritional yeast. And I don't know if you can see this. It looks like thick gravy. It actually looks like a brown kind of gravy. I'll take a picture of it and show you maybe. So I could have added some more tahini in here. I think that might do really well. So maybe 2 teaspoons of tahini or a teaspoon and a half. Let me see. It's really good. It's really, really good. I'm going to add just a little more of the tahini and see if I can mix it in. See if I can mix it in without heating it up too much anymore. I would say a teaspoon and a half of tahini would be perfect in this, and it makes truly like a gravy. Really, really good. Now, this could be good on mashed cauliflower. This would be good on mashed potatoes. This would be good on anything you add gravy to. It really does look and smell delicious. Ooh, so good. And then, so you have your salad. So all you have to do is pour this on top of your salad, and you have a nice, warm, and mix it up. Really, really delicious salad. You're going to love this. I made some earlier, and it was really good. Fantastic. There it is right there, a warm, really good, nourishing, savory salad. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember to join my Facebook community, Women Creating Healthy Lives with Passion and Purpose. Thank you so much for joining me. And my YouTube, you can subscribe, Diana Marchand, and my site is dianamarchand.com.